Hi, I'm Ann. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be ranking all the books that I read in 2022. So last year I read a total of 162 books, and so what did I think would be a great idea is to make a video ranking every single one of them from 162 all the way to my number one read of 2022. So buckle up. I will try to edit down this video as much as possible so you aren't completely overwhelmed by me ranking 162 books, because clearly I can't talk about them all in one video, or this video would be hours long. So hopefully I'm planning to keep it relatively short. And I would love to know, how many of these books have you read, or how many books did you read in 2022? So I will be ranking these according to different sections on my Goodreads. So I have a DNF section, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, and 5 star section. And then within those sections, I have them all ranked according to which are the best of 2 stars, which are the worst of 2 stars. So I'm just going to go down in numbers, but I'm going to have video breaks if you want to go between like 1 star and 4 stars or 5 stars and break that up. So that's how we're going to organize this video. Obviously, I won't be talking about all these books. I will just be mentioning the names and maybe like at most a 1-sentence summary of what I thought of it. So let's jump into it. So we are starting with the DNFs, and I have 2 books in this which fit this criteria. Number 162 is Frost Over Frost Time by David Dobson. This one I won as a Goodreads giveaway, and I did not like it. 161 is The Rise and Reign of the Mammals, A New History from the Shadow of the Dinosaurs to Us by Stephen Brusatte. I found this very boring. Now we go to the 1 stars, of which I was surprised I only had 7 books that were only 1 star. 160 is Beowulf, translated by Maria Dovana Headley. I have a whole rant review about this translation. Not Beowulf in general, just her translation. Number 159 is The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. 158 is A Crown of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I should just give up on YA fantasy because 90% of it sucks. 157 is The Inheritance Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I also have a very long rant review for this book. 156 is Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. 155 is The Wrong Family by Taryn Fisher. 154 is The Perfect Wife by Lindsay Sands. 153 is The Hacienda by Isabel Canas. Now we go to the 2-star books, of which there are 19. I'm surprised how many books I actually really enjoyed last year that I read. I have very few that are either 1 star or 2 star. Predominantly they are 3 or 4 stars, which is great. Number 152 is Circus of the Dead by Kimberly Loth. Number 151 is The Sheik by E.M. Hall. 150 is The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. 149 is Can You Survive Dracula? Choose Your Path book by Ryan Jacobson. This one deluded you into thinking you could choose your path, but there was literally only one path you could choose without dying. It was a horrible book. 148, Lucky Leap Day by Anne Marie Walker. 147, The Duke's Marriage of Convenience by Fiona Myers. 146, The Duke's Last Governess by Maya Ross. 145, Going to the Sources, A Guide to Historical Research and Writing by Anthony Brundage. 144, Bunny by Mona Awad. This one is a trippy drug trip. Oh my gosh. 143, Something in the Water by Catherine Stedman. 142, Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Emily Henry is just not for me. 141, The Duke Alone by Christy Caldwell. 140, Ripper by Stephen Petruccia. 139, Perfume, The Story of a Murderer by Patrick Susskind. 138, Murder at the Mayfield Hotel by C.J. Archer. It's very rare that I don't like a cozy historical fiction, but this one was just so predictable. 137, Love, Lies, and Spies by Cindy Asti. 136, Nanjing Requiem by Hajin. 135, The Paris Seamstress by Natasha Lester. 134, Wild Irish Rose, which is the 18th book in the Molly Murphy series by Rise Bowen. This is the first book in the Molly Murphy series that I wasn't a big fan of. Most of hers have at least 3 stars, usually more 4 or 5 stars. So yeah, disappointing. Now we go to the 3-star books, of which there are 43, a lot more books in this section than the last 2 stars. So, in the bottom 3 spots, 133, 132, and 131, we have the first 3 volumes of Lore Olympus by Rachel Smythe. I think if I tried to reread these, they would go down in rating, but at the time when I was wanting to read them, I was in the mood for light fluff, and now I dislike them more. 130 is David Copperfield's History of Magic by David Copperfield. 129 is World Architecture, The Masterworks by Will Price. 128 is Epic Tales, Chinese Myths and Tales. 127 is The Celts, Prehistory to Present Day by John Davies. 126, The Bridge of the Gods, A Romance of Indian Origin by F.H. Balch. 125, Sources of Chinese Tradition, Volume 1, From the Earliest Times to 1600, edited by William Theodore de Barry and Irene Bloom. 124 is Witchwood by George Mann. 123, Murder with Peacocks, which is the first book of the Meg Lanslow series by Donna Andrews. 122, The Lure of the Dim Trails by B.M. Bauer. 121 is The White Cat by Holly Black. I don't know if Holly Black is really for me. I've had very mixed feelings. I really hated The Cruel Prince, and with this one, it was just very meh to me, so she may not be the author for me. 120 is Mr. Be Gone by Clive Barker. 119 is Portside Peril, which is number 2 in the Cruise Ship Mysteries by Hope Callahan. And then in the 118 position, Lethal Lobster, which is book 3 of the Cruise Ship Mysteries by Hope Callahan. 117, The Story of Fish and Snail by Deborah Friedman. 116, The Library Book by Tom Chapin, Mike, Mark, and Chuck Gronick. 115 is The Library Tea Book by Michael Smith. 114, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V. Schwab, which I buddy read with Lady Jane Books, and we had very mixed feelings about that book. It was beautifully written, and then it was a mess by the end. 113 is The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. 112, A Forgery of Roses by Jessica S. Olson. 111 is A Rip Through Time, which is book 1 of the Rip Through Time series by Kelly Armstrong. 110 is The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. 109 is Never Rescue a Rogue, which is book 2 of the Merriwell Sisters series by Virginia Heath. 108 is The Lighthouse by Christopher Parker. 107 is The Da Vinci Hoax, Exposing the Errors in the Da Vinci Code by Carl E. Olson and Sandra Meisel. 106 is The Tales of Greek Heroes by Roger Lancelin Green. 105 is The Court Dancer by Shin Kyung-suk. 104 is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kremer. 103 is The Humbug Murders by L.K. Oliver, E.A.A. Wilson, and Scott Kynson. 102 is Homicide and Hallow Hallow, which is the second book of the Tita Rosie Kitchen Mysteries by Mia P. Manansala. 101 is The Daughter of Dr. Mourier by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. 100 is The Later Middle Ages, 1272 to 1485 by George Arthur Holmes. 99 is The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. It was the first book that I read of Simone St. James that I had mediocre feelings of. The other 2 books I've read by her before I absolutely loved. It wasn't a bad book, but it wasn't great. 98 is Boxen Childhood Chronicles Before Narnia by C.S. Lewis and W.H. Lewis. These were like childhood art and stories that C.S. Lewis and his brother created as children. It's really cool. 97 is 3 Questions of Sophocles, a modern-day journey of discovery through world philosophy by Christopher Phillips. 96 is The Scholar and the Serving Maid, a Qing Dynasty mystery by Feng Ai. 95 is His Majesty's Opponent, Subhas Chandra Bose and India's Struggle Against Empire by Sugata Bose. 94 is The Castle of Otranto by Horace Walpole, which is considered to be the first Gothic book of all time, which is really interesting. It was published near the end of the 1700s. 93 is The Plantagenets, The Warrior Kings and Queens Who Made England by Dan Jones. 92 is Jingo by Terry Pratchett. 91 is Gory Details, Adventures from the Dark Side of Science by Erica Ingalham. 90 is In the Garden of Beasts, Love, Terror, and American Family in Hitler's Berlin by Eric Larson. Eric Larson is an author I definitely want to read more. I read 2 of his books this past year and I really enjoyed him. Now we finally go to the 4-star books. Whew. And there are 55 books within this list, so let's just jump in. I don't know how I got the numbers wrong, but we're just going to go to 88 and pretend that 89 doesn't exist, because I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe I missed a book. 88 is The Tiny House Handbook by Charlie Wing. 87 is Castles by Christopher Maynard. 86 is Then Came the Thunder, which is book 1 of the Three Willows series by Rachel Wusser. 85 is The White House Cookbook, 1899 by Hugo Zeman, Fanny Limora Gillette. 84 is History from the Dawn of Civilization to the Present Day. 83 is My Lady's Money by Wilkie Collins. 82 is Life in a Medieval City by Edwin Benson. 81 is 100 More Poems from the Chinese, Love in the Turning Year, translated by Kenneth Rexroth. 80 is Deadly Deception, which is book 4 of the Cruise Ship Mysteries by Hope Callahan, which has been my favorite book featured yet. It was really good. It was the best book in the series yet. 79 is The House on Dirty 3rd Street by Joe S. Kittinger and Thomas Godzella. 78 is Prayer for Beginners by Peter Kreeft. I've learned it's actually spelled. I always thought it was Kreft, but it's like Kreeft. 77 is My Visit to the Aquarium by Aliki. 76 is Revelations of St. Bridget, on the life and passion of our Lord and the life of his blessed mother by Bridget of Sweden, which is a medieval theological text. 75 is The Haunted Hotel by Wilkie Collins. 74 is The Red House Mystery by A.A. Milne. 73 is Dorothy L. Sayers, A Careless Rage for Life by David Coombs. 72 is The Raj at War, A Peeper's History of India's Second World War by Yasmin Khorduri Khan. 71 is Hungry Bengal, War, Famine, and the End of an Empire by Janam Mukherjee. 70, John Adams and the American Revolution by Catherine Drinker Bowen. And I found the one that is missing, so let's actually put John Adams up to 71 technically, and 70 as The Life of Thomas More by Peter Ackroyd. Now all my numbers are going to be mixed up. I'm so sorry. 69 is Red Famine, Stalin's War on Ukraine, 1921 to 1933 by Anne Applebaum. 68 is Arsenic and Adobo, which is Tita Rosie's Kitchen Mystery number 1 by Mia P. Manasala. 67 is Devil in the White City, Murder, Magic, and Madness at the Fair That Changed America by Eric Larson. 66 is Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, which is a retelling of the classic tale by Michael Merperjo. 65 is Lady Susan by Jane Austen. 64 is Up to No Gouda, which is number 1 of the Grilled Cheese Mysteries by Linda Riley. 63 is Kidnapped by Robert Louis Stevenson. 62 is The Unpleasantness at Bologna Club, which is book 4 of the Lord Peter Wimsey series by Dorothy L. Sayers. 61 is The Ice Pick Surgeon, Murder, Fraud, Sabotage, Piracy, and Other Dastardly Deeds Perpetrated in the Name of Science by Sam Keane. 60 is The Stand-In by Lily Chu. 59 is Rune, which is book 3 of The Faithful and Fallen by John Gwynne. It is the only book in the series that I did not give 5 stars. Number 58, Our Violent Ends, which is book 2 of These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, which is a retelling of Romeo and Juliet set in Shanghai. It was very good. 57 is The Log of a Cowboy by Andy Adams. 56 is The Hollow, which is book 23 of the Q Poirot series by Agatha Christie. The next 2 are this series, that is the Homefront News Mystery by Joyce S. St. Anthony. The first book is Front Page Murder, and the second book is Death in a Deadline, and they fall in the 55 and 54 category. 53 is The Seahawk by Raphael Sabatini. 52 is The Savage Damsel and the Dwarf, The Squire's Tale, number 3 by Gerard Morris. 51 is The House at the End of the Moor by Michelle Griep. This is like a Christian romance, and I absolutely loved it. Number 50 is Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Semple. 49 is The White Mirror, which is the second book of the Ledoux series by Elsa Hart. 48 is A Vindication of the Rights of Women by Mary Wollstonecraft. Number 47 is Gallant by V. Schwab. Number 46 is Imperial Woman by Pearl S. Buck. 45, Why Didn't They Ask Evans by Agatha Christie. 44 is Moby Dick by Herman Melville. 43, The Sinner and the Saint, Dostoevsky and the Gentleman Murderer Who Inspired a Masterpiece by Kevin Birmingham. 42 is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke, which I just finished last month. 41 is Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim, which is book 1 of the Rats of Nim by Robert C. O'Brien. The number 40 is The Honjin Murders, which is book 1 of the Kosuke Kindaichi series by Sensei Yokomizo. Number 39 is Jade Dragon Mountain, which is book 1 of the Ledoux series by Elsa Hart. 38 is Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. 37 is The Complete Plays of Sophocles by Sophocles. 36 is The Name of the Rose by Umberto Eco. And with that, we go into the 5 stars. These are like the top tier. And I was surprised I actually had 35 books in this category. I did not think that I gave 35 books this year a 5-star because I'm pretty rare in giving out 5 stars. But let's jump into it. So, number 35 is How to Make Friends with Ghosts by Rebecca Green. 34 is Ocean Meets Sky by Terry Fan and Eric Fan. 33 is Half-Baked Harvest Every Day, Recipes for Balanced, Flexible, and Feel-Good Meals by Tegan Gerard. 32 is Annie and the Wild Beast by Jan Brett. 31 is Big Sister and Little Sister by Charlotte Zolotow. 30 is the original Fanny Farm 1896 cookbook. Number 29 is The History of Religions in Korea by Dokwoong Kim. Actually, it would be Kim Dokwoong in actual Korean. Number 28 is Houseplant Oasis, a guide to caring for your plants and styling them in your home by Melissa Lowe. 27. Would you stop? Would you stop? Number 27, Jane Austen's England by Roy A. Atkins and Leslie Atkins. Number 26, Frederica by Georgette Heyer. 25, Sleeping Murder, which is book 13 in the Miss Marple series by Agatha Christie. 24, Selected Works by Marcus Tullius Cicero. Cicero is the best. 23, Jane Austen at Home by Lucy Worsley. 22 is City of Ink by Ledoux by Elsa Hart, which is book 3 of the Ledoux series, and by far my favorite one. Number 21 is The Christmas Carol, The Chimes, and the Cricket on the Hearth by Charles Dickens. I have all 3 books in a complete collection. Number 20 is Persuasion by Jane Austen. 19 is Lord Peter, collection of all Lord Peter whimsy mysteries by Dorothy L. Sayers. Number 18 is The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. 17 is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by Charlie Mackesy. Number 16 is When the Day Comes, which is book 1 of the Timeless series by Gabrielle Meyer. Number 15 is The Nurse's Secret by Amanda Skenendor. Number 14 is The Clackety, which is book 1 of Blight Harbor by Laura Sneff. And then we have a bunch of John Gwynne books. Number 13 is Shadow of the Gods, which is book 1 of the Bloodsworn saga. Number 12 is The Hunger of the Gods, which is book 2 of the Bloodsworn saga. Number 11 is Malice, which is the first book of the Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne. And number 10 is Valor, which is book 2 of the Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne. And I am reading the 4th book of the Faithful and the Fallen now. In fact, I'm going to finish it today, so I will be done with that. I'm so sorry if, you hear him, because he's being a complete lunatic. Number 9 is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Number 8 is Wild Swans, 3 Daughters of China by Zhang Cheng. Number 7 is One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich by Alexandra Solzhenitsyn. Number 6 is David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. Number 5 is The Silent Parade, which is book 8 of the Detective Galileo series by Keigo Higashino. And number 4, 3, and 2 are The Divine Comedy by Dante. You have number 4 is Inferno, number 3 is Purgatory, and number 2, I personally think it's the best book, is Paradise. And number 1, in the number 1 spot, is The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I had to give it to it. I definitely think this isn't like a perfect ranking list because I don't necessarily agree with all of mine perfectly, because like quite a few of these I think of on equal playing field, even though I may set one higher than the other. They're just all in the same tier to me. But I'm curious, would you switch around this list? Were there any books that I hated that you loved, or that I loved that you hated? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Hopefully I can edit this down because my throat is getting a little bit sore. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, like, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!